camp. I'm just passing through, but I can.
It's time to pack up. The U.S. military is ramping up efforts to leave Iraq. It's estimated to be the largest movement of military personnel, equipment, and machinery in recent military history at a tremendous cost.
The pullout of the equipment is going to be much more difficult since the U.S. Has identified 1.5 million pieces of equipment to be pulled out.
The process will eventually ship out equipment from tanks to antennas. The manpower is about the size of a small American city. The massive operation that's underway right now is ahead of the August 31st, 2010 deadline to remove all U.S. combat troops out of Iraq. This shows that the U.S. military has picked up the pace in a planned exit strategy from Iraq in an operation that could cost in the billions. And the withdrawal is coming at a cost to Iraqis, too. Violence in Iraq produced the highest death toll in 13 months. A series of suicide bombings in northern Iraq and a high-profile attack on 2 government ministries in Baghdad are raising anxieties over deteriorating security, with national elections coming up in January.
The Americans have brought a measure of peace and stability, certainly with the surge and all. So if you're looking to what comes next, your average Iraqi, you may be very ambivalent about the Americans leaving.
Iraq Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki has blamed the attacks on sympathizers from the late dictator Saddam Hussein's Ba'ath Party, who want to overthrow the current political order.
Usually the hallmark of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, AQI, and also politically, the situation might get more complicated on the Iraqi political scene.
At the same time, the numbers of U.S. military casualties in Iraq are decreasing.
Let's say 6 months ago, you would see U.S. forces walking around in Iraqi cities, sometimes with no helmets, sometimes with no flak jackets. U.S. forces have started to feel safer.
Approximately 4,337 members of the U.S. military have died in the Iraq War since it began in March 2003, according to the Associated Press. But as more troops escape harm's way in Iraq, an uncertain fate awaits them in Afghanistan, as military commanders will increase troop presence there. Colin Campbell, Washington.